going on, everybody? I go by the name of Curry, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. The 1990s were an incredible time, not just for sneakers, but for pop culture as a whole. I was born in '86, which means that by the time the 1990s were rolling through, I was right there in the midst of everything that was happening in television and in pop culture. The 1990s gave me some of the best times and the best memories of my life. Pogs, Nickelodeon shows, Blockbuster Video, and of course, amazing moments in basketball. Nike was doing some amazing things with their Just Do It campaigns, trying to switch up some new ideas, and today we're taking a sneaker and one of those ideas that Nike had in the 90s that they decided to bring back. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the shoe. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 9 Dream It, Do It. This might be one of the weirdest sneaker releases I've seen in a long time. First of all, let's talk about the campaign. We'll take a look at the shoe, and then we'll talk a little bit about why y'all hate it so much. All right, now the Dream It, Do It campaign was actually a short-lived ad campaign that Nike came out with Jordan back in the 1990s. Now, this was actually before Jordan Brand as a whole was a subsidiary company to Nike, so a lot of the things that they were doing were still co-branded. As a matter of fact, if you look at some of the old vintage gear from the Dream It, Do It campaign, even though it says Air Jordan, it says Air Jordan by Nike, and the tag actually says Nike on it. Whereas now, all of your Jordan apparel is going to have the Jumpman on the tag. That being said, Nike tried to do something a little bit different with the Just Do It campaign and put a little bit of a twist on it and say, if you can dream it, then you can do it. What's funny about that is that now we're in 2019, where Nike has kind of revamped and rebranded that whole slogan and campaign. And now we have campaigns like "You're crazy if you do it," or "If you can dream it, you can do it." Nike is using a lot of those same words like dreaming and doing in the new campaigns with Serena Williams and Colin Kaepernick and all the other athletes that they feature. It's kind of funny how history repeats itself. However, the 90s were super nostalgic because our fashion was all about loud colors. It was about these weird skinny looking letters and fonts, and this sneaker is an ode to that point in time. Now, I personally love the sneaker, but that's just because Air Jordan 9s are actually one of my very favorite silhouettes. They're not the most popular silhouette, but honestly, Air Jordan 9s to me are super comfortable, and I've loved the silhouette as far back as I can remember. So let's take a little deeper look at the sneaker. Now, looking at the entire upper of the sneaker, of course, you have the inner portion of the upper of the sneaker that is this all black, rough leather. The leather on here almost looks pre-wrinkled. It's very interesting, this leather here. But I like it. I'm not quite sure as far as quality wise if you guys are gonna like it as much. Y'all probably don't like it that much, but I don't know. I'm digging it. I like it. Side note, for some reason, the colors on the box say black and university red, but these sneakers are certainly a lot more colors in them than black and university red. I don't know why Jordan Brand only put those two colors on the box, but whatever. So on the right shoe, going around the collar of the sneaker, first of all, you have this really nice red nubuck. Going down to the lower half of the upper of the sneaker, you've got these Charlotte Hornets colors here. Really nice turquoise blue wrapping around the toe box. On the back of the heel here, you have this really nice navy purple kind of color here. Now, all throughout the upper of the sneaker, you have that same purple colored stitching, that same purple threading all going throughout. You'll notice on the other sneaker that it actually is an inverted gold color. The midsole of the shoe, you actually have a classic Chicago midsole here with that matte black, hard kind of plastic feeling material here with that white with the red Jumpman. On the inside of the shoe, behind the tongue, inside of the collar, and wrapping all around the inside of the shoe here down to the sock liner, you have again this really nice turquoise color. And I really like kind of this crisscross pattern, kind of this checkerboard pattern inside as well. On the front of the tongue of the shoe, you have that 1990s Dream It, Do It campaign there, looking real vintage. And on the back of that Dream It, Do It flap, you also get the words Air Jordan. And on the heel of the shoe here, again, you have that purple with that really nice turquoise 23 wrapped in gold. On the left shoe, you get a little bit of a different color scheme here. Same turquoise wrapping around the toe box, but wrapping around the heel of the shoe, you actually get a nice university gold color, and wrapping around the collar of the top of the shoe, you get the purple there. As I mentioned before, that university gold threading going throughout this shoe, which offsets that purple threading on the right shoe. On the back of the left shoe though, right on the heel, you get a black 23 wrapped in red. So all in all, you see, you get a little bit of an inverted color scheme here. Now, a lot of people have called this sneaker the Martin. They've kind of dubbed it that. It's kind of what they've nicknamed it because the colors and the fonts on the writing kind of remind people of Martin's TV show back in the early 90s. Super classic show. If you're anybody who's anybody, you're a fan of the show just like I am. And it reminds you of some of those clothes that people in the show used to wear, some of the jackets that Martin used to wear. And the logo for the title of the show had a lot of those different colors in it as well. And they're pretty reminiscent to the colors that are in this shoe. So we had to call it something. Why not call it the Martin? But I'm pretty sure that Jordan Brand did not model this sneaker after the Martin TV show. I'm sorry to say. Like I said before, this is actually a really interesting sneaker release because I recently went on a trip to St. Louis. I could not find this sneaker anywhere. It was sold out in every single store. Not only was it sold out in every store, it didn't even come out down here in Alabama in the town where I live at. These shoes were not that easy to get your hands on. However, they really weren't going for that much money on StockX either. It looks like the bids were pretty low and the asking prices were pretty low. Some prices I even saw dip below retail price, which makes me wonder why the sneaker sell out in all of the stores, but the sneaker really didn't make a lot of noise on StockX. And honestly, my answer to that question, some of y'all may not like it, but I think a lot of you guys understand it. I actually have two answers as to why this sneaker sold the way that it did. Number one, it's tax time. And when it's tax time, Jordan Brand always comes out with a whole lot of sneakers, different colorways, because a lot of people will spend money more freely on sneakers that they may not have bought when money was a little bit tighter. They'll kind of go ahead and blow a little bit more money on a shoe that they probably wouldn't wear that much. Not only that, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. This shoe is what I call a hood shoe. Now, a hood shoe is a shoe that really the people in the hood like more so than the people out in the suburbs. A lot of people are gonna wanna wear this shoe and put some loud outfits together that other more casual Jordan wearers aren't really gonna put together. And because of that, when demand is super high for a hood shoe, it's really difficult to find it. And I think that the quantity of this shoe was just enough for there to be just enough demand on here for everybody to get a pair that really wanted it. But there are still some people out there that haven't quite been able to get their hands on these. The good news is that if you haven't been able to get your hands on a pair, you can probably put in a bid on StockX and get this sneaker for right at retail price, if not slightly above retail price. So these are gonna be really difficult to get your hands on if you really wanted them. This is actually an interesting example of what happens in sneakers when demand really does meet product inventory. It seems like demand and supply on this sneaker were right neck and neck, and pretty much everybody who wanted the shoe got the shoe. Kudos to Jordan Brand because you guys actually got it right for a change with this one. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the shoe. Now I want to hear from you guys. Sound off down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about the Air Jordan 9 Dream It, Do It. Was this a sneaker that you guys got your hands on, that you wanted to get your hands on, or was this a hard pass? Me personally, like I said, I'm a 9s guy anyway. I'm a 90s kid, so I love anything that has to do with that vintage gear, vintage colors. So to me, these married those two ideas together, so it was a must-have for me. I don't know about you guys though. Sound off down below. Let me know what you think. Of course, while you're down there, make sure that you click on that little red subscribe button. We would love to have you here in the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure that you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you, I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 9 Dream It, Do It. And until next time, I'm out.